What do you disagree with that Drew Paulau guy that he would hate you? It's not about the people themselves. It's about the fan bases. I can get along with individuals really well. I have like a vast array of people, a vast landscape of people that I get along with like pretty well on a personal level and can even have political debate with, whose audiences fucking hate me. I mean, look no further than the Ryan Long thing that I just did, right? Like, I think I get along really well with both those guys. They've offered to introduce me to other people every time I'm in New York. Like, I can connect with them for a show or whatever. We probably end up politically agreeing on most things. Although in this podcast, I think we focused a little bit more on sides that we disagree with. But like, yeah, this audience hates me. Holy. Dr. K is another good example. Yeah, that audience hates me. Maybe I misunderstand. Do you feel like some communities would easily side with you if shown that you don't have some imagined position? Not necessarily. I think there's a lot of hate about me that comes from just like people like Hassan making it up about me. But I think there's probably a lot of hate that comes from people that genuinely don't vibe with my positions either. Like, a lot of people genuinely don't like my position on Israel-Palestine. Like, they won't like it. Even if they heard every single part of it, it would have to be like a rehab program for me to like go through all of my takes on this to figure out like if I could debate them out of their position. But if they just, even if they accurately heard my takes on Israel-Palestine, they still wouldn't like me. There's probably like a lot of like libish communities that are like that. So I feel like if you lean a little harder into pushing omniliberalism instead of better thought processes, the community commitment will have an ideology to grasp on. It's a rallying cry so people can stand behind when making clips of you. Yeah, but it just sounds lame. That's just not as punchy as like, think reasonably. The problem too is that like a lot of what I espouse or a lot of what I hope to do in my life is something that's worn as an aesthetic by a ton of other people. Like, if I were to describe myself and then wipe that from my mind and then read that description of somebody, every single red flag is there for why I probably would write the person off without even listening. Like, oh, really? Tell me more about how you're not partisan and you don't align with a particular party and you try to use reason and logic to arrive at your political positions and you try not to parrot a party line and you do your own research. Wow, bro. Like, my God. Like, why not just call yourself Veritostony? Like, wow, how ingeniously smart and enlightened and centrist and unique and independent of a thinker you are. Like, every single... But the problem is, like, I genuinely feel like I try to exhibit these values, but these are worn by aesthetics from all across the political aisle. That Brad Palumbo guy today on C-SPAN said as much, right? I'm not saying he doesn't try to do these things. He might, but like, he described himself the same way that I would describe myself. So like, what the fuck is the difference here? I don't know. Sorry, I missed it. Why does the Dr. K audience hate you? I have no idea. Twitch community in general, maybe. Like, that's kind of been like Hassanified. Maybe that's like a broad guess. I don't know. Actually, I'm not really sure. A common thing I see in communities like the Boys Cast when talking about you is they'll claim that they hate you because you have no strong stance on anything or you go with the popular opinion. Yeah, that's kind of been like the new attack on me, is that I don't stand for anything, but that's not really an attack on me. I think that I've become the embodiment of liberalism, and I think that's the traditional TradCon hit against liberals, is the idea that like a religious man, a conservative man, stands for family values. He's got religion and God, that these are the things he stands for. But liberals are just these like hedonistic, valueless, soulless people that like stand for nothing or something. So I've kind of become the embodiment of that, because I think that if you've ever listened to me, I clearly have really strong opinions on a lot of things. I don't just like change them on a whim. But I think that attack just comes from the traditional conservative hit against like liberals. Would you invest / champion in a serious platform trying to get talking heads to put money on the line in terms of making predictions to show how serious they hold their positions? I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I want to here's my immediate future dream. Okay. I need to get the studio downstairs running perfectly. Despite the road bumps, of which there have been many, I'm actually I'm way happier than I thought I would be with the series of recent guests. Talking to Adam was a lot of fun. JJ was a really good guest. Ryan was a really good guest. And the Krasensteins were also really, really good to talk to. And even Jeremiah, the first guy. So those have gone really well. I think I have like unlimited access to like, I don't know if you'd call them like C-tier YouTubers. So not like A-list talent and not like the huge B-listers. But I think anybody C-tier I can just like grab. Oh, and Kyla has Turkey Tom coming on the 4th. That'll be really good. And I think Richard Lewis is coming tomorrow. That'll be good. Yeah. So Bridges right now is filling out like a really, I don't want to jinx anything, but right now that my dream was to fill out a thing where, you know how you guys are like, oh, talk to this guy. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we agree on anything. Bridges is a really good platform where I can bring those people on and then also have like a more serious in-depth conversation with them too. So that's been really good. That studio will be running perfectly in about 7 days too. What else? It'd be nice to hire somebody to do a show out of there as well. That would be like the start of the media company dream, is making Josiah move down here to Florida and paying him to shoot 1 episode a week out of there. The Daily Destiny. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But do you feel like starting 2 podcasts at the same time with diametrically opposed goals could jinx you out of attracting guests? No, people just don't. I think people don't consume content in the way that a lot of you guys think they do. Like a lot of you guys thought that like that show Kick or Keep would like destroy my career, and I don't think people engage with the content that way. It just doesn't happen. Your CL died. What is a CL? You're a coven leader. Okay. You're a cuck lover. Oh, I think, yeah, and then anything else is like a lot more casual of a platform. I can draft guests over onto that for casual shit as well. Anything else on Wednesday? Richard Lewis on that would actually be fucking hilarious. Oh, shit. I wonder when he leaves town. I'm doing Piers Morgan again on Wednesday morning, too. You're collabing with the Fear and podcast anytime soon? Fuck no. How serious are you about rebranding as Steven instead of Destiny? You keep sort of mentioning it, but is there an actual plan? No, I just like to be called Steven in a serious setting, but I don't think I need to rebrand or anything. I think Destiny is fine. I think you guys worry about shit more than anything else. Like it doesn't actually have an impact on this. Like I see people in the subreddit post like Destiny needs to improve his background so he doesn't look like a gamer because people aren't going to take him seriously. I think that you guys think that people value certain things way more than they actually do. Even when it comes to things like appearance, like I read so much feedback and comments about me. I don't know if I've ever seen a comment ever, even when I'm looking super messy, about like, oh, I don't take this guy seriously because his hair, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a comment like that. Usually it's like cuck, fag, tranny, lover, fucking Gusano, genocide apologist. It's like all like stuff related to lore me and shit. I don't think I just don't think it matters anywhere near as much as people seem to think it does. I'm also curious because of your occasional quips. Yeah, I mean the branding on Destiny is really good too. It's just so easy to, like, it's a good noun. It just works. Yeah. What did you open the subreddit for? I don't know. Oh, I need to find, somebody needs to show me. Is there a way to do a mass unbanning here? I would do it. I just don't know how. It's not about what people say, but about what they subconsciously think of you. If you dress poorly, then they will have a worse first impression, which will taint your entire appearance. You know what? I actually don't think first impressions matter at all. One thing that I've learned in life is I think first impressions are mainly worthless. I think that your final impression is always the most important thing. We talked about all this a little bit from like the dating aspect, that if you could choose between like starting a date strong versus ending a date strong, you always want to end a date. You always want to end a date strong. First impressions are so easy to overcome and override. The final impression you leave on somebody can like determine their final thoughts about you, I think. No offense, but what are you going to talk to Turkey Tom about? That isn't just content creator shit that isn't interested in non-content creators. Oh, the whole conversation about like, how do you monetize your YouTube? What's your tax structure look like? What if I legally changed my middle name to Destiny? Do you think that would be like insulting? Then I could just be Stephen Destiny Bonnell. We need to get a limit on the boring rage bait / Israel Palestine on the subreddit. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I think that the problem is right now there's just nothing to talk about in the political world besides this. Because like it's Trump and Biden. We know everything about both of them. There's not much else to learn. There's something else has to happen. You have to drop the second. I don't usually put the second on anything anymore. Fuck it. I don't care. Now my dad will get confused for me, not me for him, okay? First impressions wouldn't be a reliable means to learn about someone's nature because everyone is going to try to look good in their first impression, right? If I had to guess for why people think first impressions matter, it's because that's the first time you see a bunch of things that do matter. But they don't matter because they're first impressions. They just matter because they're things that you'll likely see the first time that you meet somebody. So for instance, when I say like first impressions don't matter, somebody might think like, oh, so you don't think it matters if you show up on time? Showing up on time to something is incredibly important. But that doesn't have to do with making a first impression. It's just being on time to stuff is important for a lot of people, unless you live in California. So that's not like a first impression thing, it's just a being on time thing. Or if somebody talks about like your appearance, like, oh, well, you know, if you look like really slobbly and blah, 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 and somebody sees you, the first impression is gonna be really bad. No, that's the entire impression, because you're gonna look the same from start to finish. The entire impression they get is that your appearance looks like disheveled or whatever, you know? So it's not just a first impression thing, it's like this is just a thing that people notice about you, you know? Yeah. Also, if you're late the first time, you're late 100% of the time. If you're late the second time, you're late 50% of the time. True. It's also the fact that there's only you and Forethought modding the sub. The amount of sewing over anti-Semitism can't really be filtered out. I mean, it can be. Also, it's really only Forethought modding. I only mod when I get ass mad and start banning people over my ass pain. The Forethought is generally doing like 99% of the actual modding. I think fans adopt your destructive argument style, which is part of why we're perceived as toxic debate pedos who stand a contrarian with no real positions or whatever. You should probably work on disseminating a constructive description or platform of omniliberalism, things like being understanding about. Yeah, I mean, we can do that, but like, be careful. I noticed this the other day, and I started to speak out against this more. Was this to chat or was this a program I was on where it's like people are like, oh, well, Democrats are always so this or that. And it's like, well, when Fauci got the science wrong that one time, that's why nobody trusts, you know, the health establishment. And it's like, okay, well, what about when conservatives have been wrong like 50 million times? Bullshit. I don't believe that. Just like I don't believe anybody that doesn't like me because I'm a debate pedo. That's bullshit. Hassan embodies everything about an actual debate pedophile. He was literally debate raping a 16-year-old. If that's not debate pedophilia, I don't know what is, right? Or the way that he dealt with the Willie Mack thing, or like, yeah, like these people love debate. Or look at the easiest example is the way that Finkelstein treated me in our conversation, in our debate, was just screaming at me the entire time, screaming over me the entire time, calling me names the entire time. Like, and then these are the people who are like, Destiny, people don't like you because you're too much of a debate bro sometimes. No, bullshit. That's bullshit. That's an excuse that people just use. I don't think they actually give a fuck about that. You're gonna listen to the Decoding the Gurus podcast episode about you. Yeah, we probably will. Yeah. Can you tell us what the deal with the C-SPAN thing was? They asked me to come on and chat. Oh, there was a leftist streamer that was trolling the. I tweeted about. I doubt Twitch gives a fuck, but there was a leftist streamer who was basically he was watching it as it was happening, and then his fans were all calling in to troll, essentially. This guy.
Excuse me, just call him other fucking Mr. Scaramucci. Excuse me, Mr. Borardi. I hate this. I hate this. Which, listen, if anybody calls in, do not mention my name. Do not mention the stream. Do not say anything, okay? I'm going to say this straight up. If you call in, do not mention me, okay? The literal last thing that I want is for any of these freak shows on the internet to even be able to perceive me.
Were you purposefully holding back on the responses to the callers? You were super tame when you had license to slap back? No, it's random. If anybody's watching C-SPAN that doesn't already know who I am, if they're going to bring up a situation like this, well, I'm just going to take the opportunity to explain the most favorable viewpoint of mine in like the calmest manner possible. Why would I start screaming? That would justify whatever they're saying to me, I think. If somebody calls in, also, by the way, a lot of people in the subreddit were like, what got cut off when Destiny said, oh, Jesus? I think it got cut off because they cut the call early, but the caller was saying, and can you tell us all why you like to fuck 15-year-olds? Like, holy shit, bro, are you okay?
Please, okay? If you're like seriously, okay? Seriously. Like the only reason
this dude on stream is brigading. Yeah, but it's because it's C-SPAN. I don't know if they care. I don't think Twitch gives a fuck. But yeah, they were all talking in their chat about how they were C-SPAN sure does love having Nazis on. And then the girl that was the queen dipshit, what's her fucking name? This cringe fuck. Oh my god. Imagine streaming in a full fucking burqa.
And I'm so sad. Bulma is...
Wait, did I just make that up? Wait, maybe it was a different person that called in. Hold on one second. You didn't look at clips. Oh, it's a niqabi, not a burqa. My bad. What's the difference?
Wow, not in our Christian YouTube channel.
Lights.
Oh, this is Lumiru. You're right. Wait, why the fuck can I not find anything? Oh, here it is. Kill me. Niqabis don't cover their mouth / nose and hands. Wait, is this not covering her? Did you donate 5K for BRs for breast reduction surgery for Lumi? I thought it was 1K or 2K. I don't remember. I thought it was 1K.
These ads do. If you only subscribe do for $5.99. Please clip that.
God, this is fucking cringe. Kill me. Anyway. It's so weird, though, it's so weird to me when gay, queer, whatever political people simp super hard for Middle East Muslims. Well, because a lot of them are on that, like, Marxist bend. And if you go too far into the Marxist stuff, you lose a lot of the, like, social justice woke stuff. Like, the most hardcore people, like Hassan, is probably generally opposed to woke scolding. Like tankies and shit aren't going to be in big with like LGBTQIA, or they kind of are, but only insofar as it suits like the oppressor oppressed narrative, not really for like the social justice aspect of it. Remember, their main concern is always like the capital hierarchies. That's always superseding every other part. What's wrong with her streaming in hijab/niqab thingy? Like, if she chooses to do it, then it's fine, in my opinion. I think the outfits are disgusting. I think it's toxic. I think it's weird. I don't know maybe there's a different religious justification that I'm not aware of, but either the idea that a woman needs to cover up that much, or a man is such a like rapist, bloodthirsty, guilty, whatever monster that he can't handle seeing a woman's face without wanting to rape her. Both aspects just seem really gross to me. Where is Kyla? I love her in Bridges. She had so much. It seems like waste. Blah, blah, blah. I think she's just doing like immigration shit and working on stuff in Canada right now. Or she might have had like a family thing. I don't remember. She's something is going on there. Prophet Mo? What is the Prophet Mo? Requires a pious woman wear the ninja outfit. Okay. What guests do you want for more contentious Bridges podcast episodes? I don't know if any of them will be pretentious. I think JJ probably struck the best balance between like being able to disagree and then like having a conversation about it. I feel like that was probably almost the ideal balance of it, I think. I think. What is this thing in the beginning?
I'm a slippery snake.
Got you, bitch.
Why? I don't know why. Okay. He said contentious, not pretentious. Did I say pretentious? I meant contentious. Why is Bing... Wait, does Bing actually type in chat? Or is he just... For a Bridges guest, you have your sights set on anybody popular among right-left extremists who would actually like you. I don't know. Like I said, I want to make sure everything is perfect before I start like shooting for like A-lister, B-lister people. I want like everything to be perfect before then. Like there can't be like audio issues every single episode and stuff like that. Okay. Why am I... Okay, cool. Are you seriously trying to separate general wokey SJW stuff with Hassan's politics? Yeah, they're totally different. It's important to understand that. If you don't understand that, or if you think it's all the same, if you think tankies are the same as like woke scolds, you're missing a big part of like the political landscape right now. Sorry if this is out of pocket or unwanted, but I'd love to see Dan Carlin, history podcaster, Sam Harris, Alex O'Connor, and Peter Boghossian on Bridges if you could get them and are interested. Did Peter release all of our stuff yet, or? A debate with Bassem Youssef would be great. Or Bassem Youssef, if I could, yes.
How come you're
4 days ago, 6 days ago, 13 days ago. Oh, none of it's been posted yet. They're talking to Daisy. She's been posting a lot of pregger stuff, guys. She might be pregnant, or was pregnant, or is pregnant. I'm not sure where she's at right now in the grand scheme of things. Would you debate Peter Boghossian on the NPR stuff? I don't know enough about it. I don't know. I would have to like start listening to episodes to see if. One of the big problems that I've run into that I noticed with the Vyvanse, initially it made me feel good and then it made me feel a little bit depressed or hopeless, is I truly don't trust any summary of anything. Like I feel like I have to read it all myself, which in one way it was cool because now I can read stuff, but then in another way now it's like really overwhelming because now I don't feel like I can trust any summary of any particular thing ever. I feel like I just have to read it, and then it limits my ability to yeah, I don't know. Would you be interested in Alex Jones's lawyer? He has a podcast. Yeah, Kyla suggested him, but I don't think I'm good. I'm good on that. I also need there's not really just a straight up and down, like top to bottom. Really? Kind of weird. Okay. Hello.
What's up, buddy?
Hi, how's it going?
Not a whole lot, man. Not doing too good.
Wait,
Wanted
not
to
doing
talk
too
to you
good, or
about two things. Huh?
did you say not doing too good, or did some stuff slip?
Not. I misspoke.
Oh.
I meant to say I'm doing good.
Oh, okay. Well, what's up?
So
Yeah.
first thing, you were talking earlier about first impressions not being all that great,
Uh-huh.
not really being as important as the last impression.
Yeah.
Whenever I was in law enforcement, there was one thing that they routinely hammered into our heads about having a good-looking uniform. Is there was a study done where they asked a bunch of prisoners in jail, people that were convicted of killing cops, what was the reason why you chose to kill this particular cop? And a significant percentage, I don't know what the percentage was, but enough to be notable, said that they killed that cop because they knew he wasn't going to be able to fight back effectively because he had a wrinkly, dirty uniform, unserviceable rig belt, something like that. That's obviously not going to apply in terms of getting a job, but it does tend to lead the idea that maybe that first impression goes a little bit further than,
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't even disagree with you there. To take that a step further, I've heard this, so I'm repeating this without actually knowing. But like, if you were looking to like jump somebody or rob somebody on the street, you're looking for the guy who kind of like walks a little bit hunched over, like looking at the ground in front of him, who seems like kind of an unconfident, nerdy kind of dude. Like that's like an easy mark.
or just looks visibly drunk, visibly disabled.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not too sure. Like, is that would I consider that a first impression, or is that just like the general demeanor of a person? Like, let's say the first impression was like very confident or very strong, and then after like a minute, they swapped to being like an unconfident fucking loser. Like, is that first impression stronger than the last one? I don't know. I just found in all of my associations with people, the last impression that I leave on them, or the last impression they leave on me, tends to be the thing that I remember a lot more than however a certain thing opened. But there are a lot of things that
first impression
go ahead.
give you the avenue of how you approach a person and engage with them, like after that first impression.
It could. I mean, like, if they act the same way the entire time from start to finish, that's just going to be like the overall impression that is going to happen from start to finish.
Right.
I might just be mincing words. It might not be like the most important thing in the world. There's going to be a lot of things. There's a lot of things related to a first impression that are just important qualities that don't necessarily have to do with because it's a first impression, but like things like being on time. That's like an important quality. But yeah.
Okay.
But
Well, it was just a thought.
yeah.
The thing I wanted to really talk to you about was I heard you on stream say something about you wanting to build an AR.
Oh, at some point I will. It just keeps getting pushed off.
What are you going to do with this AR, buddy? Are you going to try to get into some 3-gun stuff?
For 3-gun, you have to have like a pump action, like an internal magazine shotgun, right? You're never doing 3-gun with like a double barrel or a single barrel, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Listen, I need to before I do any of that. I need to go to the range regularly first. Okay. And then
Oh, that's kind of crazy how some other people have been telling you this on a regular basis every time they talk to you.
Well, yeah, but it's like
it's
fucking,
good you've taken that advice to heart.
Well, I know I need
sure the
to,
person
but it's
that
like-
told you this.
It's 40 minutes away, okay? That's a whole chore. That's like a whole fucking day of like shit. If I do 40-minute drive there, if I spend an hour to two at the range and then 45-minute back, that's like a 4-hour chunk that's just eaten out of my fucking day, okay?
And it greatly helps you. Wouldn't you spend 4 hours studying on a thing? I
Well,
think you
now
would.
I don't have to because I have an alien, okay, Luago pistol,
Ah,
so I don't need to
fuck.
practice shooting
Come on.
anymore. I have the auto aim bot of destruction. Yeah, that's right.
Fucking nerd.
You know when you shoot that,
God damn
the red dot doesn't even move because the top slide doesn't even go back. That's how cool that gun is. I know you're jealous.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am jealous that you own a fucking alien. Absolutely. You know what I'm not jealous of?
My shooting abilities.
hmm
Listen,
The fact that I can stand 20 feet in front of you and just be primarily more safer than 3 feet to the left and to the right of me. I'm just saying.
okay, but I mean, we can't all be that small of a target, okay?
It's a Venn diagram of how tiny Kennedy is and how terrible of a shooter you are.
Listen.
So, fuck you. Piece of
Anyway.
shit. Goddamn. You know what? You're banned from the range.
Fuck you.
I'm banning you from
You
Baker's
can't-
range.
It's not,
Fuck
it's
you.
not even your range to ban me from. You're not allowed to do that.
Baker really enjoys my opinion, and he takes things that I say under careful consideration. So,
Oh yeah. Okay. Well,
unless you come out there and you actually plan on doing some training, if you do some training, we'll fucking
58
We'll have you
minutes,
out there, bro.
hour drive just to get to the closest range to me. Fuck me, dude. I thought
Oh,
Florida was
no.
supposed to be the state of guns and killing people. The fuck?
It is, but it's also the state of a bunch of fucking retards like these Miami bunnies just running around and buying up a bunch of property next to where you live.
How much? Maybe.
So-
Well, maybe I could open a range in Miami Beach. How much do you think it would cost?
Oh, a couple mil. You're looking at a lot of insurance, a lot of air filtration, a lot of hiring people to
Never
fucking
mind.
do it.
Man, I don't care. Fuck all that shit.
Yeah, it sucks. Unless you do an outdoor range, then you wouldn't have to deal with that. But you'd have to deal with the heat, humidity, the rainstorms, and all the other shit that comes with shooting outdoors. Especially in Florida, because fuck Florida.
Wow.
Don't do it then. Just come out to the range and shoot with us a little bit more, buddy.
Sure.
And
Okay.
then that's all
Yeah,
you
but
gotta
also
do.
like ideally you would go to the range like once, at least every 2 weeks, or once a week, not just like once every 12 months.
Try 2 or 3 days. Once every 2 or 3 days.
Nobody got time for that. Listen, cops sure as fuck don't go that often. Okay, chill. All right, military people don't shoot
And
that often.
that's a problem with cops and law enforcement and military. 'cause
Once
I
every
did that
2 or
shit
3
whenever I was
days.
in law
Damn,
enforcement.
dog. What ammo
Yes.
site are you getting your fucking bullets from? Oh, you're reloading out there, you cucks. That's what you're doing.
No, we're not reloading. That's one of the things that we developed this fucking training system for. Each challenge that you shoot only needs 3 fucking rounds to complete the fucking challenge. That allows you to show what you're terrible at. Like, I don't know, magazine replacement for the immediately screw drill. People that can get better at some of these fucking things. You only need 3 rounds to do it.
Okay. Oh, you should have. I just thought of a great fucking idea. You should have
What?
drills based on movie scenes. How sick would that be? Have you ever watched Breaking Bad?
Yeah, dude. Come on.
Did Hank inject that round manually when he was on the ground? Do you remember?
I don't remember that part.
It's when he gets shot a couple times. He's on the ground. He picks up, I think, a 9mm round, or maybe it's a 45. Oh, that might be. I think that's a 45 or 40 ACP. I don't fucking know. But he picks it up and he puts it in the gun. Does he? Oh, see, this should be a challenge. On the ground, inject a round into the chamber by hand,
Uh-huh.
and then load and shoot a target.
Yeah. The problem with that is that with semi-automatic pistols,
Yeah.
whenever you load a round into the chamber like that, you're actually inducing a lot of stress on the extractor because it's having to ride over the lip of the casing to engage with the casing after the round goes off. I've actually broken an extractor by doing that too many times.
Okay, well, that might be a real life situation that you need to prepare for. Do you think that Hank was worried about damaging the extractor here?
Hank was worried about putting a bullet in some dude's head trying to put a fucking axe in his. Yeah.
But how many times do you think he practiced this at the range in order to get that round to go in perfectly with one hand?
I mean, I can think about it. Maybe if you come out to the range, we can fucking workshop. I'm
Okay.
just saying, buddy.
All right.
You motherfucker.
And and you would
All
also
right.
you need an exercise for the collateral scene too. You've seen that movie, right? With Tom Cruise.
Collateral is where he shoots all those people that are stealing his briefcase.
Yeah, in the hall in the alleyway. You need a thing for
They're-
this. And this is a
they're
good
actually-
one. It's like a because
They're
it's
actually-
Go ahead. Sorry. You
There are actually a whole bunch of IDPA or IPSC challenges that are designed not necessarily on this movie, but with this same thing in mind, drawing from a concealed holster and then shooting people from the hip, then
Yep.
going up to a Mozambique.
Yeah. And it's a super good practice too. Yeah, because it's like when you guys would tell us about drawing from the holster, you remember how you would remember, right? You both always say like when you're drawing, get your gun pointed forward immediately. Don't like draw and then wait until it's like right in front of you. But you draw, guns pointed forward immediately, center of your body. If you can't aim on at least one axis, you can aim at least at the center of your body. So this would be a good drill too. Yeah, he pulls, shoots, and then he comes out forward, and then he shoots the guy to the right. God, fuck this.
I'm down with that. That we could actually introduce that. Now, unfortunately, we're done with pistols, so we're doing pistol caliber carbines on season 3. But that's something that we could actually do with cowboy guns next year. If
Oh,
we're doing
shit.
revolvers.
Revolvers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could actually show up to the range whenever we're doing revolvers. We could get you kitted out with some true Central Louisiana fucking cowboy hat, some tight pants for all the gooners in your fucking chat, and that some spurs and some boots and shit. Fuck yeah, dude.
That'd be amazing. You guys could do another movie challenge with the revolvers where you shoot and kill somebody behind a camera without ever pulling the trigger.
I was for sure you were going to make a Brokeback Mountain reference.
Nah.
Oh, god damn it. Anyway, that's all I had. I got to go and get some food and then eventually put some pants on, and then I might end up doing something. I don't fucking know.
All right. Well, have fun. Be careful. I love you, buddy.
Indeed, buddy. I'll eventually, because I see people in your chat sometimes saying he didn't say I love him back. I'll say that at some point in time whenever I know you better. I just don't know you
All right. That's fine.
that good, that well.
Have fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, later, bro.
Have fun. Bye. Somebody definitely DM me that Baldwin meme, and I jacked it shamelessly. Do you find that the first moment when your vibe clashes with someone else's can have an outsized influence on your interactions going forward? Maybe. When I'm interacting with people, I actually tend to have like a pretty, I don't know if I'd say like submissive role, but I'll take like a big step back and let the other person lead on interactions. And then it helps you figure out like how you want to interact with that person. I tend to not be very aggressive in social interactions. Also, if other people want to act the fool or act retarded, I'll let them do it. People can have all the space in the world. I don't need to fill the space in all the rooms I'm in. It's more fun to watch people fight for space anyway. Review the cast report. Bro, that's like a 360-page report on trans people. I would rather kill myself, okay? Fuck that. Why do you think that tankies are okay with very wealthy communist dictators with a starving population but want to destroy capital owners who hoard all the wealth? I don't know, because a lot of them haven't lived in those systems before. I'm not sure. Why did this crash? Jesus.
She's crazy how she does this, and she's recovered so fast. She gave birth so eloquently, elegantly. Yeah. And
Decoding the gurus
ba-
awaits. Is it actually is it like publicly free right now? Like, could I theoretically listen to the whole thing? The cast report is about to make so much drama here. Maybe. Apparently, it's a big, it's a scathing review of a lot of trans medical literature. Yes, it's out. Okay, maybe we'll listen to that after this. I'll throw up my
Baby is
title.
healthy. He's happy. He's beautiful. He's been wonderful. The first week
3
he was
hours.
like super just chill, quiet. He's been constipated a little bit the past few days. He's been a little uncomfortable, but nothing crazy.
Oh, the
You know.
baby. He's talking about his
Yeah.
baby, the
Was he
new
born on the
baby.
10th?
I think, right?
He was born.
Hey, that's my microphone.
The 10th?
Was he born on the 10th? Yeah, did you say it was Wednesday he was born?
No, the week before that though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the 3rd.
Got it. Because chat was saying he may be OJ reborn, but
Was that OJ's birthday?
I'm so irritated about the immigration stuff now. Also, fuck. I feel like I have a much better understanding of all the immigration shit than I did before. It feels like Pisco said he wanted to talk about this at some point. It feels like 95% of our current immigration problems have to do with the asylum process. And I don't see any way that that gets fixed without legislation. That's what it feels like to me right now. Everything else is just lip service. That if the asylum shit doesn't get fixed, then you're just fucked. There's nothing you can do. Why does this keep crashing? Hello?
Other issues and granddaddy issues.
That's right.
And how many of them girls got
That's, you know,
granddaddy
it was
issues?
just yesterday he was talking about fucking teenage girls.
There was one that I liked. So
And now he's dead. I mean, of cancer. What happened?
Don't watch the guru shit. It's just two boomers reacting to your clips saying, I don't totally get this culture, but he has integrity over and over again for 3 hours. Oh, so we shouldn't watch it then. If this gets over 80%, you're getting a 7-day ban. Tuck Fwitch. Also, look, are you guys proud of me? I've been banning in increments of 1, 3, 7, and 30 days instead of always doing 1,024 hours. Why do you say there's nothing going on in U.S. politics right now? Have you seen how much Josiah's channel has grown lately? Please cover some of it. I just mean in terms of things that are capturing like the public like fascination. Although that is true. I wonder what Josiah is covering recently. There's like stuff to talk about. It's just I don't think many people are having. Why did I look for Josiah? Is it Pondering Politics? Yeah, even this month, he has he's sending out 12 million views. Somebody linked me a website for. Wait, fuck, what was the website? Oh no. What do you, asylum can't be fixed without legislation? Isn't that in the power of the state bureaucracy? So right now, if you, free hack, by the way. If you go to the US border and you get caught in the US and they're like, stop, are you an illegal immigrant? You can go, I'm applying for asylum actually. And then they go, fuck. So then they say, well, why are you applying for asylum? And you're like, well, people are hunting me down in my country because of my race and stuff. Okay, well, go to a judge. Here's your hearing date. And I mean, we just have to like release you. We can't there's no place to hold you. We don't have room. It's probably gonna be months or years before your case is heard. Good luck. And that's like that's the legal process right now. There's nothing else that, oh, it was this site. I don't think there's anything else that you can do right now from the federal government, like enforcement perspective or anything like that. You're just fucked. It's just fucked. Wait, why the fuck did this not work? Oh wait, Pondering Politics. What do I ruminate here? This shows you more information than what we had before. Social Blade. What am I looking at? Oh, this, yeah. Isn't that only at an unofficial port of entry? I think if you're already in the U.S., you can just stay. But I think you can just go up to a port of entry and also claim asylum. Like, it's really dumb. Has it always been the case, or was that changed recently? I think it was changed somewhat recently. I have to go back and check. It's in my notes somewhere. Okay, here, vote on this. So we're seeing if we ban Tuck Fwitch or whatever. Destiny, new to the channel. If I had a really long and a lot of questions for you, where could I ask them? Unless there's no way, which is fine. That's a ChatGPT question, my boy. What do you think the alternative is? The alternative, this sounds really mean and maybe bad. I think that the alternative is probably capping asylum people in the United States. Because right now, my understanding is the asylum process is uncapped and unlimited. Theoretically, 1 billion people could spawn in the United States and claim asylum. And I think we have a legal obligation in the United States right now to deal with every single one of them by giving them slips, letting them chill back in the country, and just waiting for their date. Like, that's it. They are destroying the country. I don't believe that. I don't believe that it's actually as big a deal as conservatives make it out to be. I don't think that it's that big of a deal. It's an issue it's a lightning rod issue right now. Also, you can't uncap asylum because our agreement with the UN asylum laws. No shot does the United Nations say you have to have unlimited asylum. I don't believe that. How many people come in through this process now? Is it an actual issue? Well, so the issue right now is that our courts are insanely backlogged, and it's just taking a long, long, long time to actually process everybody. So let's see. Control F. Asylum? Asylum. There are no limits on the number of individuals who may be granted asylum each year, nor are there categorical limitations. In fiscal year 2019, 46,508 individuals were granted asylum. However, there's like over 1 million people per year claiming it right now. Damn, I read a really good article on this. I didn't save the article. Do you think it's worth saving the article? I should have like can you create footnotes in Obsidian? I should just put in our current events. Hold on. There was a good, I think it was a New York Times article. Wouldn't it be enough to just streamline the process? Like if that was the case and the average waiting time for each case would be less than a month, then it would solve the problem. Listen, if you're a programmer, this is true. If you work in government, this is true. If you work in management, this is true. Anytime you hear somebody say things like, oh, let's just streamline this. Oh, let's just trim the fat. Oh, let's just make this simpler. If they don't have specific, and I'm not trying to call you out in particular, I'm not trying to shun you, but things are usually complicated or backed up for a kind of a complicated reason. So if you want to make the process expedited, I don't disagree that trying to make it quicker would be good, but you can't just like do that and have it magically be done. Yeah. Please get familiar with the Senate bill. It addresses all these problems, so wild that Republicans blocked it. We did look at that Senate bill, and it's wild because that Senate bill would have increased funding for the border security. It would have increased the number of agents down there. It would have increased the funding for the asylum judicial system. It would have provided funding for I think an additional 800 asylum judges. That bill seemed like it would have addressed and I think it would have changed the standard by which people, I believe, could apply for asylum by raising the likelihood that their case would succeed from a well-founded fear to something different, I think. That bill was a really good bill. Supposedly, it was very similar to a bill Republicans tried to pass a couple years ago. I've read that, but I haven't looked at that old bill, so I'm giving you somebody else's opinion there. But yeah, apparently that was a really good bill. So yeah, the idea that bill not passing is actually quite tragic, especially because I'm 95% sure that bill didn't pass because Donald Trump wants to run on immigration. I'm almost positive that that's why, because that's Republicans said it, that Trump said, no, we're not going to pass this bill because he wants the border to be fucked so that he can run on that as his big issue. Wait, what the fuck does this do? Oh, I am logged in. That's what it's doing. Is there an easy way to get a citation from an article? Can you do that? How do you feel about the C-SPAN section? It was okay. It was a lot of troll callers, but... Hold on. When's the last time you heard anything about DACA? That shit just comes out every 4 years. When Trump tried to cancel it, basically. When Trump loses, do you think that the Republicans will suddenly approve the bill or will they keep blocking? I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know what's worse for the country, Trump winning or losing. It's also not guaranteed that Trump loses, by the way. It also changed the standard and capped asylum claims per day, allowed for shutdowns and closure of the border when claims exceeded 4,000 per day, could be shut down till the backlog was cleared. Oh yeah, that too, it provided for a daily cap. Am I retarded? Who wrote this article? Why would you not want your name at the very top? I want the byline there immediately. Fuck you. Give me credit for my article if I wrote this. Okay, by Stephen Ratner and Maureen White. Where's my byline? And there's no date at the top either? Damn. Oh, cock me, fuck me. Oh, cock me, fuck me, cock me, fuck me. Is there a date anywhere on this article? Am I fucking retarded? Control F. April. May. We're not in May. March. There's... Oh, okay, the URL, I guess. Wait, January 9th? Is that how old this is? Damn. Okay. We've been having immigration problems for 4 months? That's so long. It seems so crazy that DACA shit is even an issue. If country already invested so much into teaching these students, why wouldn't you want the fruits of their labors to blossom here? Yeah, it's kind of dumb, but it's a principled issue for conservatives, and the idea of rewarding illegal immigration like that bothers a lot of them.
Every once in a while, we have some good news. The good news is this bill is dead.
Good job, Tuck Fwitch. You barely survived.
Now, my views on this bill have not been ambiguous. At the last press conference we had here, I described it as, quote, a steaming pile of crap. Some people afterwards criticized that characterization. Can't imagine why. And they said, well, you haven't read the text, so how can you say that? And you're right. All I knew was what had been described by the bill sponsors. Well, now we've seen the text, and it turned out my assessment was far too kind. This bill is a terrible bill. I'm going to break it down on two metrics. Number one, policy, and number two, politics. On policy, why is this bill a terrible bill? Because it does not solve the problem.
What? If he says it doesn't solve the problem of open borders, which is like a meaningless fucking platitude.
We have the worst rate of illegal immigration in our nation's history. People are dying. Children are being brutalized. Women are being sexually assaulted. Over 100,000 people died of overdoses last year. This bill doesn't fix it. Understand, this border crisis is deliberate. Joe Biden caused it.
Deliberate. Oh my God. I hate these people. They're not Americans. They're not patriots, okay?
He caused it by his own unilateral decisions. 3 decisions caused this crisis, all made the first week of his presidency. He inherited the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years.
Destiny only reads the kick chat. True.
And his first week, Joe Biden caused it. He caused it by his own unilateral decisions. 3 decisions caused this crisis, all made the first week of his presidency. He inherited the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years.
You're not allowed to brag about things that happened under COVID if you don't want to take responsibility for the bad things that happened under COVID. Title 42 expulsions are not a credit that you get, bro. There was a record low amount of immigration because people were genuinely sick and dying from a virus that half your fan base doesn't even think is fucking real, and the other half thinks came from a dude named Ching Chong working in a fucking lab trying to infect the American population at the behest of George Soros, okay? And then the other people that even made it in were able to be instantaneously expelled because of how Title 42 works, because if somebody comes in, you can say, fuck you, leave, there's a virus right now and it's hurting our people. Fuck you, dude. Why, like, it's such a stupid, why would you get credit? Why would you think you would get credit for the last year of illegal immigration being low, but then not take credit for how fucked the economy and every other part was because of COVID? You can't have it you can't live in both worlds.
It's all made the first week of his presidency. He inherited the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years, and his first week as president, he halted construction on the border wall. He reinstated the disastrous policy of catch and release, and he pulled out of the unbelievably...
What? He reinstated the policy of catch and release. What does that mean? What policy changed relating to catch and release from Trump to Biden? Like, catch and release is like when you catch somebody and they apply for asylum, you have to you can't hold them infinitely. You don't have infinite space. What policy changed? Can we look this up? I think I looked this up before. I didn't find an answer. Trump versus Biden, catch and release. The only thing I'm aware of is I think Trump told, I think, ICE or the Customs and Border Enforcement, CBE, CBP, Patrol, he said, you guys need to end catch and release. And then, like, that was it. Like, nothing, I don't think anything happened. New data shows migrants were more likely to be released by Trump than Biden. New data published by the Biden Homeland higher percentage of arrested border crossers in its first 2 years under Trump DHS. Oh, this goes by a percentage. Share released. Released, I'm guessing, refers to released into the country to wait for their asylum case. So even under Trump, this was happening. You like what Trump did catch and release. Everybody has like catch and release. I think you have to. There's not another way to do it right now unless you pass a different law. Ooh, WAPO. Oh yeah, fuck me with that fucking paywall. God, yes. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. COVID happened in 2020. There was 3+ years of administration before COVID came in with low numbers. What do you mean? COVID came after the caravan stuff, artificially raising numbers. COVID drove down immigration a fuck ton in Trump's final year. And if you want to look at the lowering of crossings and shit at the border, pretty sure Obama was the one that fucking obliviated people trying to come to the United States. Hello? Oh. But also, I'm not even sure if it was Obama or if there was just other stuff going on. Like, you can see from 2000 to 2008 for our Bush years, or it might be technically 2001 to 2009, like 1.3 million, 1 million, 900,000, 1.2 million, 1.2 million, 1.1 million, 900,000, 700,000, 556,000. And then Obama, 460,000, 340,000, 360,000, 421,000, 500,000, 300,000. Like, the numbers fell off a fucking cliff when Obama was in office. I don't know what Trump's, I don't know what the data is for, it's on one of those sites. Oh, wait, hold on. Somebody did link this earlier. Here are 12 charts showing the state of the immigration system and the southern border under Biden compared to Trump. Okay, when this says illegal crossings, this is referring to encounters as well. This isn't referring to people that made it into the United States. In Trump's final year of 2019, let's compare this. Wait. Okay, so Obama was, is Obama's fiscal year, would it be 2008 to 2016? Or would it be 2009 to 2017? I think it'd be 2009 to 2017, right? So Trump's year of apprehensions at the border in 2019 was literally larger than any year. It was like, actually, we can fucking calculate it out, okay? I should have talking points like this. 556 plus 463 plus 340 plus 364 plus 420 plus 486 plus 337 plus 415 plus 310 divided by 8. Is that correct? Or did I add an extra number in there? Fuck. Wait, hold on. I'm doing 2009 to 2017, right? 556 plus, I think that was right. 463 plus 340 plus 364, 365 plus 421 plus 487 plus 337 plus 416, 311 divided by 8. Under Obama, there was an average of 462,000 encounters per year. In 2019, Trump had 860,000. That's more, that's almost twice as much. Almost 2 years worth of Obama's, like, people attempting to cross the border. So, I mean, like, you can go back here to, and then also now, the reason why this number is so fucking high now is because people just come and they just fucking claim asylum too, which is cucked. If you go to 2017, that's 9 years. Wait, fuck. Am I doing that? Am I doing the, what is this in comp sci, the fence post problem? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're right. I did fuck that up. Zero plus 364 plus 420 plus 487 plus 416. That's right. Okay. Divided by 8. Average is 422,000. 420. Okay. So it's literally 2 times as much as Obama's numbers on average. I also really don't like Destiny. They don't need that bill passed because, like you said, they had a very similar bill and it passed in March of 2023. What very similar bill? What? Are you talking about, I sent a link? If you're talking about HR2, that bill was fucking delusional. That was a wild, retarded bill. That bill never had a shot in hell of passing any, that was a retarded fucking bill. Fuck off. I also don't know why there is such a huge variety of countries, but I also don't know about any of the situation in Central America. In 2019, the busiest year for border crossings under Trump, about 80% of migrants taken into U.S. custody were from Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras. Last year, those 3 countries accounted for fewer than half of all border countries. Or, I'm sorry, border crossings. Migrants from Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Senegal, and Mauritania. How the fuck are they even getting here from Africa? What the fuck? Along with other nations in Africa, Europe, and Asia are crossing from Mexico in numbers U.S. authorities have never seen. For example, 14,965 migrants from China arrived across the southern border between October and December. Border Patrol data shows up from 29 over the same period in 2020. They're from RuneScape. Number of people illegally entering the U.S. who are deported, returned, or expelled by year. Biden is also expelling a fuck ton of people as well. The deportation number is so small. Even under Trump's biggest year, he's only deporting 95,000 people. But that actually makes sense, too, if you think about it. The illegal immigrants that are here are probably embedded enough that they're not going to get caught. Because I think that at least until a year or two ago, the population of illegals in the United States was slowly decreasing. Although as of like 2019, that seems to, they might be increasing now. But from like 2007, 2008 onwards, it seemed like the number of illegals in this country was basically decreasing. Do you support sanctuary cities? Like as a matter of like legally, should they be allowed? Or like morally or ethically, do I support them? Looking into Central/South America, refugee crisis started around 2018. Displacement almost perfectly lined up with surge starting in 2019. Yeah, man, I just don't know. I don't know enough about what's going on in the in Central America. I don't know why there's like such a big crisis or whatever. Aren't a majority of illegals just expired visas? Right now, the majority are people coming in seeking asylum. It's just like the ultimate broken thing right now. Asylum. DHS announced it was suspending the migrant protection program or protection protocols effective January 21st. Trump admission allowed border officials to send Mexico to wait their immigration hearings. Prior to MPP, asylum seekers were able to wait for their hearings in the United States. Over 67,000 migrants have been accepted to the program, and many are still waiting for their hearings in camps along the southern border. The DHS living enrollment program. It's not even a huge number of people. 67,000. That is kind of a. January 25th, the Biden admin reinstated COVID-19 travel restrictions on most. When did the Title 42 stuff end? Because I think the COVID-19 travel restrictions ended along with that, right? I think in this, it's on C-SPAN, yeah, this morning. Did you read anything in the Remain in Mexico Act? Did it actually do anything? I think the Remain in Mexico Act allowed you to keep some immigrants in Mexico while they waited for their asylum processing rather than having them in the United States. But I don't think it applied to I think that was only for people that showed up at a port of entry, though. I don't think that applied to people that were in the United States and then applied for asylum at that point. I believe so. So this is the backlog for immigration cases right now. So under Trump, you see, I think this is in millions. So maybe by the end of Trump's term, maybe a little bit over 1 million cases in the backlog. But as of right now, we're at like 3 million cases in the backlog. It's like redonkulous. Why end this policy when Biden became president? For the Remain in Mexico stuff, I don't know what the rationale was, but I don't know how much of an impact it was even having. Maybe because the refugee camps at the border looked bad. Biden ending Remain in Mexico policy. Oh. Wait, did they or was it blocked ultimately? U.S. judge in Amarillo halts Biden admin's attempt to end Remain in Mexico policy. A federal judge in Texas paused the Biden administration's attempt to end the Trump-era Remain in Mexico program, which requires some non-Mexican asylum seekers to be sent back to that country to await immigration proceedings. And this only applies to non-Mexican asylum seekers as well. Oh, he said it was dangerous and inhumane. Have you looked into humanitarian parole at all? I'm writing a paper for grad school on it, and it adds a whole new layer to the immigration issue. What do you mean humanitarian patrol? It was ended. The Supreme Court said it can end. Okay. Are you talking about just like humanitarian relief, like TPS, DED, and DACA, or? Hold on, what is this? You mentioned that there was previously a bill by R that was similar to that was shot down now thanks to Trump. Why did that not pass if backlog has been a long-running issue? Why didn't it pass under Trump? Maybe there weren't enough Democrats? I'm not sure. Border bill, Trump. I don't know. I'm actually not sure. Fuck. Okay, we need to start learning how to use Google. What do I need to type in if I'm looking for before? If I do like before date 2021, will this get me what I'm looking for? Oh, this might be it. President Donald J. Trump's border security victory. Control F, asylum. How do you feel that we give a lot of foreign aid to Mexico so that they can stop people from crossing the southern border, but it doesn't seem to work? I don't know. Do we give a lot of foreign aid to Mexico for that? I'm not sure how much they need and how much we give. Was this like actually like a piece of major legislation, or was this just like part of like a spending bill? The $4.6 billion Senate bill, which was approved 84-8 Wednesday, includes billions of dollars for the Office of Refugee Resettlement that cares for unaccompanied children, as well as hundreds more millions for Customs and Border Protection. Female escort till. Escort IRL. Thank you for tier 5 subbing. I love you, buddy. Man, I don't know if I'm just... if I suck at the internet, or I feel like it's really hard to look up like legislation. Like I feel like I should be able to go to a website and it's like, here's every bill that passed US Senate 2021. Which Congress would that have been? I feel like it's really hard to find this shit. Or it's not organized in a... ...2019, the year Trump effectively shut off asylum at the border and restricted immigration. 2019. Is this just going to be Title 42 stuff? Legislation passed. Jesus Christ. Wait, does this... oh. This would have been 2019 to 2020? Is that when he... February 15th, 2019. MPP did next to nothing. Here's graph of MPP versus Title 42, Google the Migrant Protection Protocols, American Immigration Council, and scroll down. Sorry, I can't link. Okay. How many of those asylum-seeking cases are actually going to court? I mean, all of them will be eventually. It's just, there's just not very many people working that system, I think. Like, they need way more people. Holy shit. Okay, let's scroll back here. 3. Oh my God. No shot. U.S. legislation. Wait, does this include is this every single proposed bill? Why do people overstay their visas? Is it because there's no easy path to LPR? I don't know why. Why does the average person overstay their visa? In recent years, overseas have accounted for the majority of the newly unauthorized population. An analysis of unauthorized migration from 2010 to 2017 found that the majority of individuals who became unauthorized during that period were overstays. I wonder what the most common visa overstayed on is. Passed on the status bar. Oh, that helps a lot. Thank you. Good job. Would you marry an illegal immigrant? I don't know. I don't think that would factor into my my marriage thoughts, if you're an illegal immigrant or not. Will you cover the SCOTUS oral arguments on the Trump immunity case on Thursday? Almost certainly. That's going to be a huge one. However, I fly... no, I don't fly anywhere that day. What do I fly to? I go somewhere sometime. On the 26th, I go to Texas for 2 days. Section provides reference in the Act, division of the bill, rises the National FFA, Future Farmers of America. Like, I feel like this should be an easy thing to find. Okay. President Donald J. Trump's border security victory. Control F, legislation. Trump scored a number of significant legislative victories in the Homeland Security Appropriations Bill. Oh, so this wasn't like any major legislation that was passed. Oh, okay, fuck this. All right, whatever. Fuck, I should have just read that. Wait, okay.
The successful Remain in Mexico agreement. That caused this explosion. It also means Joe Biden could solve it tomorrow. How would he solve it tomorrow? By reversing those 3 decisions, and you would get Biden could remain in Mexico. He reinstated the disastrous policies all made the first week of his presidency. He inherited the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years, and his first week as president. He halted construction on the border wall. He reinstated the disastrous policy of catch and release, and he pulled out of the unbelievably successful Remain in Mexico agreement.
Okay, so of those two, I think the Remain in Mexico one, they probably should have stayed. I need to read deeper into the rationale for ending that. I don't know why, unless there were like serious humanitarian things that were coming up as a result. Let's see. The Remain in Mexico policy requires certain asylum seekers arriving by land at the U.S.-Mexico border, both at and between official ports of entry, who pass a credible fear screening with a U.S. asylum officer or first step of the process of requesting asylum to remain in Mexico to await their asylum hearing in the U.S. Immigration Court. Why is it harmful? What are the concerns with the policy? Making vulnerable people wait to access asylum protection and due process in Mexico is concerning for a number of reasons. First, this policy allows many vulnerable asylum seekers to wait in dangerous and unsafe circumstances, including those in which their lives may be at risk. They may not be able to access health services, humanitarian aid, and they may face deportation. Second, making asylum seekers in Mexico to access protection is deeply concerning from a due process and access to justice perspective. The policy impacts those people who've shown that they have a credible fear of persecution. Nonetheless, the policy will make them wait in Mexico without access to family, legal, or social support. Undoubtedly, who does the policy? Wait. Will affect single adult males, single adult females, and family units. Who is not subject to the Remain in Mexico policy. Those who are over the U.S.-Mexico border who were placed into removal proceedings prior to the policy's implementation, unaccompanied children, Mexican citizens or nationals, individuals who are processed for expedited removal, any person who's determined by DHS to be more likely than not to face persecution or torture if returned to Mexico, individuals with known mental or medical health issues, individuals of interest to the U.S. or Mexican government or those with a criminal history, lawful permanent residents returning to the U.S. or individuals with advanced parole. DHS claims authority through Section 235 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, which addresses the inspection of individuals seeking to be admitted to the United States. The U.S. government has the authority to implement the Remain in Mexico law under Section 235 of the INA. Why is the Catholic Church concerned with this policy? What? Okay, so it sounds like this was never just like defeated in the Supreme Court either. Okay, sorry. Let's finish watching this.
That caused this explosion. It also means Joe Biden could solve it tomorrow. How would he solve it tomorrow? By reversing those three decisions, and you would get, once again, a secure border. Joe Biden doesn't want to secure the border. Kamala Harris doesn't want to
I think another issue, too, when you're thinking as well, is something to be in mind. There's something that I say a lot, is there's like three types of different immigrants that you need to be aware of. You've got like legal immigrants, you've got illegal immigrants, and you've got refugees and asylum seekers. I think it's important to keep in mind that all three of these immigrants should be treated differently. I think I can understand the rationale behind remain in Mexico is probably a bad policy, assuming everybody's acting in good faith. Like if you genuinely have somebody showing up from some war-torn country or some like place where they're gonna get fucking murdered if they come back and they show up to the U.S. and say, okay, well, go chill over there until we process your shit. I can understand that it's probably pretty shitty, assuming it's like legitimate claims of asylum. The problem is if people are trying to abuse the system. Is the best way to fix it is the best way to fix that to do remain in Mexico? I feel like the best way to fix it would just be to staff more, to just have more people to process cases quicker. I feel like that would just be the best way to go.
secure the border. Chuck Schumer doesn't want to secure the border, and this bill was designed not to secure the border. Instead, this bill codified Joe Biden's open borders. This bill codified catch and release. Catch and release is contrary to law. But if we'd have passed this bill, catch and release would be right there in the U.S. Code. This bill normalized 5,000 illegal immigrants a day. 5,000 illegal immigrants a day works out to roughly 1.8 million a year. We've seen 9.
Oh, and that 5,000 a day was the cap. That was supposed to be the cap on asylum so they could shut the border down if there were too many coming in.
0.6 million illegal immigrants under Joe Biden. Apparently, the Republican position was going to be, we don't like your 9.6, but we're okay with 2/3 of that illegal immigration. That was ridiculous. This bill gave work permits to illegal immigrants. This bill gave government-funded lawyers to illegal immigrants. You know, one of the provisions that I personally...
Work permits is probably fine. If somebody's waiting in your country for a while, better them working than not, no? I mean...
find most noxious. This bill goes directly after the state of Texas. And it says all litigation about immigration, you can't sue in Texas anymore. You got to come to Washington, D.C., to one of the most liberal courts in the country. Texas, sorry, we're throwing you out of court in Texas. You got to come to D.C. As I observed on X last night, one sane Republican would side with Joe Biden over the state of Texas in this battle to secure the border. That's what this bill did. So as a policy matter, it was terrible policy. And as a matter of politics, it was even dumber. It was obvious from day one this bill would never pass into law. Speaker of the House said it was dead on arrival. House leadership all said it had zero chance of passage. So if it wasn't going to pass into law, if you knew that, and we did know that, what was the purpose of it? The entire purpose of this bill is to give political camouflage for Democrats running in November. The objective of this bill was, number one, to do nothing, so to do zero to secure the border, but to let every Democrat running for office say, gosh, I wanted to secure the border. But those mean Republicans wouldn't let us. This is all about talking points to deceive the voters. We're already seeing Democrat candidates across the country repeating that.
You tell me that's fair that they moved the challenges to D.C. Circuit. Do you agree with that? Which challenges? What is he?
Speaker of the House said it was dead on arrival. House leadership all said it had zero chance of passage. So it's not anymore. You got to come to Washington, D.C. This bill gave work permits to illegal immigrants. This bill gave government-funded lawyers to illegal immigrants. You know, one of the provisions that I personally find most...
Well, I mean, aren't they always... Don't if you're here for asylum, you're always going to have some kind of representation over, right?
This bill goes directly after the state of Texas. And it says all litigation about immigration, you can't sue in Texas anymore. You got to come to Washington, D.C., to one of the most liberal courts in the country. Texas, sorry, we're throwing you out of court in Texas. You got to come to D.C.
Wait, who's suing who?
And it says all litigation about immigration, you can't sue in Texas anymore. You got to come to Washington, D.C.
All litigation about immigration. All litigation about immigration. I don't even know what you would sue a state for there. Like, what would the standing be on the state for that?
See, to one of the most liberal courts in the country. Texas, sorry, we're throwing you out of court in Texas. You got to come to D.C. as I observed on X last night, one sane Republican would side with Joe Biden over the state of Texas in this battle to secure the border. That's what this bill did. So as a policy matter, it was terrible policy. And as a matter of politics, it was even dumber. It was obvious from day one this bill would never pass into law. Speaker of the House said it was dead on arrival. House leadership all said it had zero chance of passage. So if it wasn't going to pass into law, if you knew that, and we did know that, what was the purpose of it? The entire purpose of this bill is to give political camouflage for Democrats running in November. The objective of this bill was, number one, to do nothing, so to do zero to secure the border, but to let every Democrat running for office say, gosh, I wanted to secure the border. But those mean Republicans...
For example, when Texas sued the U.S. government to stop Remain in Mexico, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know why Texas would have standing to do that. I'm not sure. I don't know what the Supreme Court ruled on that, or what. I don't know why Texas would have any say over federal immigration policy. But maybe there's a reason why. But I don't know. I don't know where that standing comes from.
Wouldn't let us. This is all about talking points to deceive the voters. We're already seeing Democrat candidates across the country repeating that I was ready to secure the border, but the Republicans didn't.
It's on their border? No, it's not. Texas, it's on the United States border. It's on the U.S. border.
It's an utter lie. Remember, again, Joe Biden can secure the border any day he wants. He doesn't want to. And by the way, we could have passed legislation that every one of us would have supported. H.R. 2 that passed the House of Representatives. I've introduced H.R. 2 in the Senate. Chuck Schumer wants a bill that I'll vote for Ukraine aid on it. Give me Ukraine aid and H.R.
The H.R. 2 thing is it's just so not. I don't even know if the H.R. 2 thing would have necessarily solved, because I think the bipartisan border bill had more to do with the asylum stuff than the H.R. 2 bill did. I think the H.R. 2 was a lot more focused on like building the wall and finishing the wall and shit.
2, and I'll vote for that, because that actually would secure.
But to be fair, I glimpsed through the H.R. 2, like all the top line stuff or whatever. I didn't. But the whole thing is like, I think, hundreds of pages.
Border. And what did Chuck Schumer say at the outset? Nope. H.R. 2 is off the table. Why? Because the Democrats do not want to secure the border. They want this invasion, and the Americans who are dying as a result, they're willing to look the other way.
This is a crazy statement, bro. Like, do you really think that's the case? Do you think the average Democrat wants the United States to be flooded? Or maybe they're just saying just leadership? I don't know.
In November, my team began serious negotiation with a bipartisan group of senators. The result was a bipartisan bill with the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen. Oh, you don't think so?
You probably only like walls for Israel, right? Do you think you're like making a point with that statement? Like, do you think you said something insightful there? Do you think that Israel has a wall between every single country and itself? Like, do you think you said something meaningful there, or there was like a huge gotcha?